It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they can be well set up for the rest of the year.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsay. And his throw is incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And he hits his man, Matthews. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Pressure, he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Now Stewart on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. A look now at the Oakland offense.
In the NFL, we love to talk about bloodlines and how important they can be. And for Zay Jones, he's got a terrific one. His dad, Robert, longtime linebacker in the NFL, big time with the Dallas Cowboys. And his uncle, Jeff Blake, a starting quarterback in the NFL at one point. Wonder if he played catch with Uncle Jeff in the backyard a few times growing up.
The throw complete here to Williams. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. The numbers for Williams a week ago: 3 catches, 78 yards.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. That's about as good as a linebacker can diagnose that play, isn't it?
It certainly is, and what he did really well is that while he was diagnosing, he got his feet in motion without actually going anywhere and taking a false step that he had to make up later. He read it, got his feet in motion, and then he just took off and made the play.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Now.
Stewart from the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller, in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving him past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsey. 19 carries, 55 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working. And they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Set the turtle defense. Set the
On 2nd and 11 now. Flacco, he'll find Lindsey here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Von Miller is so good that he doesn't even need a nickname. His ability to bend and dip on the pass rush, unequaled in this league.
64.
Here's Stewart looking to throw on 2nd down. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up 1st down, too.
Here's Jacobs. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got
Stewart now to throw on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or 2. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So they have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. From the gun, Stewart. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
check 99. Check 99. Check. Flipper. Out. Ready.
Looking to throw. Stewart. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Von Miller able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And coming out now, the Broncos. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. This quick pass complete to Sutton. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Here's Flacco. He completes this to Sutton. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Throw caught here by Bird. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 19 yards that time for number 19.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Stewart. He'll get this into the hands of Bird. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. A little juke, and he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set, and that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams, but when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to Up and make tackles.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Let's go.
And Denver getting set to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, you're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Flacco to throw again on second down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. On third down, here's Lindsey. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Ready. Mike, 56, right there, 56. Check pass. Ready.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Derek Wolfe picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long. On second down, Jacobs. Room here to run. 30, the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs, 78 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now. How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Flacco's throw going to be caught by Sutton. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Throwing here on first down. Flacco. He finds Matthews. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey.
On first and 10, it's Lindsey. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Bootleg. Flacco. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. Now Flacco. He finds his target. It's Matthews. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A good game there on 1st down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They run from the shotgun with Washington, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
To throw is Stewart on 1st down. This is caught by Williams. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Now a give to Jacobs running right. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's Mostert. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also. Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Stewart. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Stewart. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Damiere Byrd, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the 1st half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
Let's go.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. On 2nd and 7, Flacco. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a 1st.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Try to go back to Matthews there, but it'll be 2nd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Noah Fant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are back within a single score. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
16 yards, a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On first down, it's Jacobs. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And this time not quite to the 30, it'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
X3, 218, chopper. Mike, 56, right there. Now. Here we go.
Now Mostert. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. The kick by Carlson is good, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. A big play there on the catch and run. 41 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd and 10, Flacco. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Zach Brown making his presence felt in the backfield.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot for this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go, 18 Gators. Here we go, G.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Set to start another drive, Joe Flacco and the Broncos. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Trying to go back to Matthews there, and that'll bring up second down.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Back to throw. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's back to throw. Open man here is Hamilton. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Setting to throw, Flacco.
No timeout, you got to go quick here.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll look to throw.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon. Flacco to throw. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. But Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that one-score game. We all knew what was coming, the Hail Mary. They just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done.